Buenas, es Robert de French Horn Rebellion. Vayan a checar mi entrevista con Mr.Indie y escuchen la canción Ya Llegué. Yeah, so my brother, I could try to do some in Spanish. Mi español es like, okay, porque mi esposa es colombiana y entonces necesito hablar con mis suegros. Los suegros es like solo hablan en español. Entonces, mi y mi hermano David hicimos sí, 5 álbumes de estudio y es porque tenemos un estudio muy cool, pero ahora I'm not there. No soy a la estudio, es a la cuadra, es en la cuadra, in la barrio de Williamsburg. So it's like, I'm here, studio's across the street. I just walked my dog over by the studio and we were working with artists all the time there. Like Purple Disco Machine, and we worked with the Knox, and we worked with, Blue the Tiger, and it's kind of, our studio is sort of like a cultural hub of music. And so over the years, we've always had a lot of people coming through. And I think a lot of the French Horn Rebellion stuff is because of the community that we have around the studio. So it's evolved. When we started, it was just me and my brother. And we were doing everything on our laptops. And we were having fun and just trying to be different. Because at that time, in 2008, everybody was in indie rock bands. And nobody was doing electronic music. So we started just making stuff on our laptops. And we would do shows with our laptops on stage, which at that time nobody was doing that. And so over the years, then we started as like a punk dance duo from, then we had a band. We did a big band in New York, and we would play a lot of the Neon Gold pop shop shows, and we would tour all over the United States and the world playing with the band, like a big band with bass, guitar, drums. And then now we're almost always at the studio. So that's the evolution, is more collaboration. So we were having so many people come into our studio to make music, and we were helping a lot of people, and we thought, we should just start a record label because we have so many people that we're working with. And it sort of happened as a natural extension of the studio space. And so I would say the label now has evolved to do mostly electronic dance music. So we're working with a lot of like amazing folks in Brooklyn that are playing at all of the places here, like Nowadays and the Good Room and elsewhere. And there's just a whole ton of the venues here in Brooklyn that are incredible spaces for dance music. And so we've been working with a lot of the people that DJ regularly at those places, and we've kind of tried to combine some of those folks with people that come internationally, that are coming to New York for shows or on tour, and then they come by the studio. That's what happened with Sima Funk. Sima Funk was, I think, on tour, or he was in New York for another reason. And then he came to the studio as part of a songwriter camp that we were hosting. And that's when we wrote the song, the Llegué song in New York. We spent so much time developing this community, and we almost completely stopped doing our own music because there was so much stuff coming in. And we were piling up all these tracks, lots of tracks. A lot of people release the stuff, but also like a lot of stuff that does not get released that we really like. And So one of those days we were hosting this thing called a songwriter camp. So a songwriter camp is where a lot of artists come into a space and they write new songs together, and it's organized. And then you have short sessions with people to make a lot of songs in a short period of time. And so I knew that I was scheduled to work with Sima Funk and Stalking Gia on a song. And my wife is a really big Sima Funk fan. So I had a lot of like preparation, you know. So I told my wife, Alejandra, I'm going to go work with Sima Funk. She's like, oh, Roberto, you have to do this and that. You guys should make some music like this. So I was like, okay. So I came in, I had all these vinyls that were ready for the session, all these records that I have that like alternative sort of Latin stuff. Like I have some music from Combo Chimbita, and I have some music from Felipe Gordon. I also have like I have this label called Names You Can Trust, which Combo Chimbita is on, but I'm a big fan of their label. I have other artists from them too, like the Prince of Queens. And so I was playing Sima Funk, all this alternative stuff, and he was like, wow, this is amazing. We got to make something like this. So I was like, let's do it. All right, boom. So that song, the Llegué, we made it in like 4 hours. It was just really fast and super fun. And we really just went in on it and did it, basically. I think the Latino vibes are like in the music because my wife is Colombian, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I met her in New York City, and at the time we were doing, like, we had been brought down to Mexico to DJ a lot, and I had worked with this guy named That's Nice, who is in Monterrey, and a band called Patterns with Estefani Brolo. They have a all-women collective called I Am Yoni, which maybe you've heard of them. And I actually co-wrote with I Am Yoni on their full EP, and we released I Am Yoni on our label as well, which was a really cool project. And they're in Mexico, so we've just been collaborating a lot with Mexico. I think in Mexico City in particular, there's so much culture there, especially like maybe like 5 or 6 years ago or 7 years ago. Like so many artists were going down there to make music, and at that time it was just a really cool cultural place. Like I think sometimes Mexico City is, because of the ability for artists to get visas more easily, I think in a lot of ways Mexico is a more of a cultural hub than New York is sometimes, for that reason, at least internationally. Like I've seen more artists from Europe play in Mexico than I have in New York because the visas are so hard to get, you know? So I think that's amazing. And I love it. I love being down there, and the culture and the creativity is awesome. So that's how we got involved with Latino music. I have some more, we have some more tracks. You know, we might have some more stuff coming out. That's definitely for sure. Yeah, I think like with TikTok and, you know, like I think it's an amazing way to reach new people, you know, and I think like the same is true with Instagram Reel, and I think that it's very, like, it can be very engaging content, and I think it only helps reach people. You know, I mean, personally, like us, we have not done a lot of, we kind of got to the game late because we were so studio guys. Like we've been posting a lot of fun stuff on our socials the last like couple months. So it's kind of new for us, and we've been having a lot of fun with it. But I think, you know, music is something that's like deep with people, and it doesn't really matter like what the medium is that you're reaching. I think it's all about the music, really, you know. His name is Juan Barabani, and he lives in you know, I'm not actually sure where he lives. I met him on the internet. But he is an amazing artist. He does all of the art for Combo Chimbita, which I'm a huge fan of Combo Chimbita. if you didn't know already, because I already talked about them. And so yeah, he does a lot of the art for them. And I was like, can you do the art for us? And he was like, yeah, man, I love the song, Llegué. I'm like, cool, let's do it, you know? So that's how the art came together. I just let him do whatever he wanted, basically. I was like, Juan, you do it, man. What you think's right. And then he made like 2 or 3 different options, and then we picked the one with like the lady like doing peyote. And I think the reason why he was inspired to do that is because the song Llegué, it could be like a spiritual arrival, like something in the smoke. Like I did this edit, so there's a remix out called the Robert PM edit, which is my personal edit of the song. And the Robert PM edit is like super, it's longer. There's not very many vocals, and it's focused on the Llegué, like, and I just imagined like maybe like the Llegué like is like Sima Funk is like some like mystical, like psychedelic, like, you know, I don't know, like some psychedelic shaman coming from like the smoke, and he's like, Llegué, you know, and it's like the smoke's coming up, and you're like, so that was the idea behind the remix. And then he kind of took that and did the art, and that's how the art happened. So it's like a psychedelic peyote infused like electronic mix up. Like in the art, I think she has like she's like smoking peyote and playing like a 909, like a TR 909. I think we're gonna, you know, like, I think we didn't play any shows since like 2019 because of we played like the last show we did was the New Year's Eve going into 2020. It is because the pandemic, of course, but then we like have been focusing so much at the studio. But we're definitely open and want to play. It's just hard to, like, people are like, they're playing again, you know, so we got to get the word out, you know, get the word out that we're playing again. So I think that, you know, we'll probably be back. I imagine we'll be back again maybe next year sometime. So if you have any friends, tell them you want to bring French horn and you want it on top of dance beats, and you know, like and that there's not enough French horn in Mexico right now.